Hi everyone, welcome back to Katarina's Garage. My name is Katarina Lloyd, and actually today we are at Roy Marco's garage, like here in Edmonton, and we are checking out his collection of cars. So first up, actually, I'm going to show you guys something I've never actually seen before until today. And also, if you guys haven't been following, go subscribe to Roy Marco's Garage if you haven't already, because he's got some pretty neat stuff going on. So first of all, I want to show you guys is this Triumph Herald. Now these, I don't know a ton on these, but what's really cool is that these are like a hardtop convertible. Like you can unbolt that roof and take it off. It's also got a Hudson roof on it currently. But you know, this one, unfortunately, it's missing quite a bit of stuff. The motor's locked up, stuff like that. But it's got a really nice body on it. And you know, he's had it for a while, and it's just, you know, it got put down to bare metal and then put out here. It wasn't Roy that put it down to bare metal. He just got it like that, and he just hasn't had the time to actually do much with it, right? But it is pretty darn cool. These became kind of popular, or I guess famous, over here in the States and Canada because of Top Gear, and they actually James May made a sailboat out of a Triumph Herald, actually a couple of them, so it's pretty darn cool. Very neat cars, and you know, I really don't know much on these, but they are super cool. I've always dug these. Now, the next vehicle here, though, is something I've seen a Chevette, but notice what that says. This is the Chevette diesel. These came, if I remember correctly, they were an Isuzu diesel that didn't make a lot of power or anything like that, but these were all about efficiency, right? Like these would get 50, 60 miles to the gallon. And that's all they were for, right? And it's actually, this one is in very good shape overall. It needs a new fuel system. I appreciate that. And yeah, actually this one, we will start this one up for you guys, because it's pretty neat actually seeing these up and going, because the diesel, you just never see these, right? And this one, I don't know how long he's actually had it for, but you know, you can see inside here, it's actually pretty good shape in here overall. You know, a couple minor imperfections, but really for an old Chevette, it's pretty neat. Now let's see. Okay, starting this thing. What's the procedure on this?
Well, it's rolled up here on the visor.
Oh, okay.
But the best thing to do is just hold the gas pedal right to the floor.
Okay.
That's what it says to do. And then wait for the glow plugs.
Yeah, there we go.
And then just turn it over. And when it starts to run, just ease up on it. Not too much because it'll stall.
Oh, okay. Hang on, try that again.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Put a little bit on, just keep it running.
Yeah, and that's... Yeah, and actually, it runs pretty good. It's actually pretty loud, too. And actually... I don't know how to pop the hood on this.
Let's pull a hood release.
I'm pulling it.
There.
There, okay, you just have to pull it really hard, okay. Actually, yeah, as you can hear, it makes quite the racket. But it's cool being a diesel. You just never see these. Right?
What's really neat is they painted these engines GM blue.
Oh, there you go, yeah. And actually, we just mentioned that these are painted GM blue. Right? Cool. Very cool. Very neat cars. I'll just shut that off before it runs out of the diesel. Okay. Next up, you know, he's got stuff lying around all over the place, you know, like 50s doors off of, probably Pontiac doors, I'm assuming.
Here's a 55 Chevy, but...
Oh, 55 Chevy, there you go.
They're just patch panels.
Yeah, and a bunch of other stuff, but then I'm just going to focus on the big stuff. Like, for example, here we have a Nash Metropolitan, which, what year is this one?
60.
And then it's 19...
It was actually 59. It was made 59, so...
Oh, okay. This is a 59 Nash Metropolitan, which, see the motor here. He got this motor when it was seized up and everything. And like the car is actually pretty rusted out and stuff like that. But you know, he's not sure what he's going to do with it yet. Whether he's going to hot rod it or whether he's going to build this for like the Great Beater Challenge, which he took the Hudson out, which I'll show you guys that in a moment. Because it's out there as well. And just like, yeah, this one is needing a lot of help. But that's okay, because you can do whatever you want with a car like this, you know? Because it's so, like, rotted out and stuff, you could cut this one up and nobody's going to care, right? And that'd be pretty neat, because you can see, like, look at how rusted it is, right? You know? And you don't see rust quite that bad, usually, anymore on vehicles, because they've usually all been repaired and stuff like that. So, yeah, this one is pretty cool. And he actually got the motor to turn over as well. He showed me that, which is pretty neat as well. Right? It doesn't quite run yet, but it does turn over quite nicely. So,
Horn works.
yeah, and the horn works. Everything else, you know, is quite hurting, but those two things work with it. You're just gonna close that up, and as we follow along here, this other one is an old Pontiac. I'm not sure which Pontiac this is.
This 56.
56.
Tour post-Canadian car.
Oh, okay. So this is the Pathfinder then as well? Or is it, what model is it?
I think this might have been the Laurentian.
Oh, Laurentian. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, it does have more of the deluxe trim. So yeah, I would say probably Laurentian. And this one is actually a gasser project for him. And it's really neat. It's honestly, like, the body's not that bad on it by the looks of it.
Beats floors.
Yeah, I mean, every 50.
I have in the garage.
Yeah, every 50s car does need floors. That's almost a staple of these cars. But yeah, no, they've got really cool lines and stuff like that. And this is a two-door post, which you almost never see. Like under the hood, you'll see a very fancy. Now this is actually it's actually an LS, but you can tell he's done a couple of modifications. Like you can see.
These are going to cover the coils.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's got these to cover the coils, and then he's made this plate to look like the original filler for these, which looks pretty awesome. And I love the look of this. And
anybody who knows an LS engine knows that your filler cap is on the passenger side. I use two driver's side or left-hand valve covers. There's another PCV here instead of a filler.
Oh, okay.
So by putting this in, this is actually where you're going to have to put the oil to fill the engine.
Oh, that was very neat. Yeah, very, very cool looking. Absolutely dig that. And especially doing something old with something new.
Straight axle front end, right? This is all.
Yeah, 100%. You know, because, and these has a straight axle, which, because the gassers, they had a straight axle in the front because they were just trying to reduce the weight as much as they could in the front end. And these things were jacked up a bit in the front end and actually in the back a little bit. But it was the weight transfer that got the traction to the back wheels, and these were very popular in the 50s and 60s to make gassers like this. So, and even before that too, but it kicked off really good in the 50s. Now, here we have another Nash Metropolitan. This one's in a lot better shape than the other one. Very, very good condition overall. And actually, we just went for a ride with this in this one, and it runs like a beauty, honestly. Just got a wash and everything, and yeah, they are a small car, but they actually have a lot of room inside. Like, I can physically stretch out in the car without any issues whatsoever. You know, if we take a look inside, yeah. There we go. And you can see the very nice two-tone and everything. And very simplistic dashboards and stuff like that. Like, this one's a 3 on the tree here. But then also, all you really have is the fuel level, the odometer, and the speedometer. That's really it for gauges on these, right? You don't need anything else. But these were like touted as having all of the options of the big luxury cars. When these things were, it's a very tiny car, and these things only weighed 1,600 pounds. But overall, and look at how small these, obviously they don't have to be big. But look at how small those things are, right? They're super tiny. Absolutely love it. Very cute. Very cute little cars. Overall. There we go. And, well, because that's not his, we won't talk about that.
Well, you can.
Can I?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
It's a 53 DeSoto.
This is a 53 DeSoto Power Master, and, you know, and they are a very cool car, actually. This is a customer's car for Roy, and it's got the Flathead 6 in it, which honestly, they're very, very neat motors. And the reason why these were called a flathead is because you see how flat the head is, like it's perfectly level damn near. And the thing is with these, because these weren't overhead valves, so the flathead, like V8s, for example, with Ford, had a cool party trick where you could actually take off one of the heads and it would run temporarily off of just one head on the car, right? Because there were such low compression motors. But it's a very, very beautiful car. Like, you can see the chrome and everything. And, you know, this was one of the... because DeSotos were a higher echelon car in the Chrysler range. They weren't quite to a Chrysler quality, but they were above Plymouth and Dodge at the time. And this one's actually in very nice shape overall. You know, this one did have a repaint and stuff like that.
What's interesting about this, I'll just point out, the two-door hardtops, they only made like 1,500 of them. And to put into perspective, in convertibles, they made 1,700. So, like, there's less of these hardtops around in convertibles.
That is surprising. But mind you, being the
DeSoto, that's the arrangement with the 6-cylinder. So they also made the hardtop with the Hemi.
Yeah.
And they made like 2,600 of those. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and if I can, there we go.
Yeah, it's like a refrigerator.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure that doesn't... Now, and what's cool is that this still has, like, the original style material in here. I know this has been definitely... Yeah, it's definitely been recovered. But it's super cool to see this, because you never see... It's almost like a burlap type sack material, but that's how they were back in the day. And even the seats, again, similar material to that, right? You know, and just take a look at that dash. You know, the Power Master, right? You've got the gorgeous clock in this. You've got the stereo. And what's really neat, your temperature controls and all that. Look at how cool that is, and your defroster and everything like that. This is a Canadian car. So, you know, you typically got these defrosters and stuff like that. And the gauge cluster is just absolutely beautiful. You know, I really do like these cars. They are very, very neat. And, yeah. Not much else I can really say about it, because I don't know as much as I'd like to on the 50s cars as much.
I don't know too much about this particular car either. I'm learning as I go here.
Yeah, that's fair. Now, the one that he does know about is over here, which this is his, it's a 51 Hudson Hornet. Now, this one, he actually took this on the Great Beater Challenge, as I mentioned earlier in the video, and it actually has an AMC straight 6 in it.
Yeah, I took the original, well, it wasn't in the car at the time.
Because, yeah, as you can see it there. And basically, because this is the 232 or 250?
That's a 199.
Oh, 199. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so it'd be it'd be a 199, 232, or 250.
Yeah, I think this was the.
And then they eventually morphed into what's known as the 4-liter. But
yeah, after Chrysler acquired them, and this one, you know, it had a bunch.
258, sorry, 258, not 250.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And as you can see, this one, like, for example, has some upgrades like an aluminum radiator. The wiring's been redone and stuff like that as well, because, well, obviously not the original motor anymore, but this was just because the 308 was here, but unfortunately it was in pieces and looked to be, like, don't get me wrong, salvageable potentially.
It was just the cost. There was a cost limit to what you could spend on putting the car together.
That's true too.
And the gasket set would have put it over.
Oof. What's that? And this one even has, like, the side exhaust, kind of like the old NASCARs did, right? And his plans with this one, actually, because he wants to dress it up kind of like the fabulous Hudson Hornet. You know, to do the thing on the side and actually on the hood, he wants to write Roy Marco's Garage, which would be really, really neat, actually, to do. And this one, like, he drove this one down, actually, because this was a couple weeks ago at this point. Or a week. I guess it was last weekend, yeah. I don't know why I said a couple weeks ago. Again, brain's not fully functioning. But yeah, it's honestly in very, very nice shape. You know, dents and dings and whatever else, yeah, but it's a beater. So who cares, right? Absolutely gorgeous. you take a look inside, you know, you see.
The gauge cluster.
Oh yeah, the gauge cluster in these are very neat because you can see. Well, in case you forget what you're driving, Hudson Hornet. You know, but it's missing the radio, and we'll take a look at this cluster over here, because you have a clock here, then you have your fuel temp and oil and stuff like that levels over here at the amp, and then you have a tachometer over here, which it's honestly so freaking neat. I love these cars a lot, actually. And Hudson was another upper echelon car, and in the late 50s, actually, which I think it was 55 or 56, where they merged with Nash to make what we knew as AMC, or otherwise known as American Motor Company. You know, and they had offshoots of the brand called the Rambler as well. Now, I'm going to pause it here so that we can walk over to the truck. So, okay, here we are approaching, you said 54?
56.
56 Plymouth
Plaza.
That
Neighbor's car.
Yeah, it's actually his neighbor's car, which in this one, like, he's been
working on it with Steve and guys who owned it before.
Yeah, for a good number of years now, in which, you know, these things, they have definitely some quirky lines to them, you know, with the front end and everything. They weren't the prettiest car, but honestly, they're a very neat car. And this one has that very, like, 60s, 70s vibe to it, right? I absolutely do
Maybe they call that
like it.
Rockabilly.
Yeah, oh, definitely. It's got the side pipe exhaust on it and everything. And it's got the smoothie caps, which I forgot to mention they were on the Hudson as well.
Yeah,
and
I just put those on. I was on the fence about that, but
they look good.
yeah.
They do look good. Yeah, this thing is absolutely, like, really awesome. You know, and you just don't see these. And especially, like, the artwork on it, too. Like, the artwork that's on the trunk lid here. That's really neat. You know, and inside you can see some of that kind of rainbow.
Mexican blanket seats.
There we go. Yeah, Mexican blanket seats, which was actually a very popular thing to do back in the day. I'm not going to open this up because it's not my car, not his car. So, you know, very nice dash and everything, and I love the pinstriping and everything like that on this car. Very, very neat. I love these old Mopars. So, and now here, this one's a 67, 68?
67, yeah, first year that body style.
So 67 Chevrolet C50. Now, if you guys don't know, and yes, they never came with the boxes like this on the back, but it was a very popular thing for people to do later on, is to put a box on it to kind of make it a little more usable, because these were essentially a work truck, 100%. They sat up really high. They were kind of like your Ford F650s and International Loadstars today, right? Very, very similar in that sense. You know, it's still got the two-piece wheel that will want to kill you if you try and take those out, because they just, yeah, they were called the Widowmaker for a reason. You know, and they just they're super squared off in the front compared to, like, a traditional C10 where there's a little bit more curve to it. But these are just so neat, and you don't see these very often at all. Because under the hood of this one, it's a
small block Chevy 350. Would have been 327.
Yeah, there you go. And there's a 350. And this one?
Yeah.
It's honestly, and you can tell this one's had a lot of tender love and care done to it. And it's very, very sweet, honestly. I love these trucks quite a bit. And, you know, it's got a nice Optima battery, which, not endorsing, but get one of these if you can afford it. They're so worth the money. You know, you can tell there's been some paint done to it, like the valve covers and stuff like that, and some stuff
If it came
added.
off and had to be worked on, I painted it, that's all.
Yeah, well, exactly, that's fair. You know, and he just mentioned that anything that needed to be worked on, when he took it off, he painted it after. So, yeah, very, very neat vehicles. If we take a look inside, they're just kind of your basic work truck. You didn't get any door panels. Oh, there's a spider there. Maybe I'll go to the opposite window. To the opposite door.
Well, you might want to show off the gauges.
Yeah, I'll go to the other side just because, yeah, there's a spider that decided it wanted to hang out on the door panel. Or, there we go. There we go. Yeah, so like I said, and it's just, you know, there's no door panels or really anything. It's just metal, right? Your door panel is metal, as you can see. You know, very solid car or truck overall. And, you know, he redid the gauge cluster and everything, and it looks really, really nice. This has the 4 on the floor.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just...
Two-speed rear end.
Oh, and it's got a 2-speed rear end? Oh, okay, that's what that lever's for. Okay. I figured that's what that was, but I couldn't remember for sure.
The big lever is emergency brake. The 2-speed is the little knob on the shifter.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's the 2-speed rear end there. Okay. Apologies. Again, I don't know these as well as I'd like to. And, you know, it's just a very neat old car. You know, and again, you don't see these hardly ever, and that's kind of what Roy does. He gets vehicles that you just don't see, and they're unusual in some way or another. Now, I actually have done a couple of videos on this car, but I'll show you guys it again anyways because we're completing off his collection here. This one is a 1954, 55?
56.
56. Why do I keep getting the year wrong?
Pontiac is for 56.
Yeah, 56 Pontiac, that, and this is the Pathfinder, so this actually has a 261 Chevrolet engine in it. And for those of you wondering, the Canadian Pontiacs were actually with Chevrolet drivetrains.
Shorter fenders. The American ones are longer, and same with the trunk lids.
Okay. There you go. So yeah, just a little tidbit there of, you know, they just had a little shorter fenders and stuff like that.
They're on like the Buick Oldsmobile chassis, right?
Oh, are they? Okay, I thought they were on a Chevy chassis.
No.
You know, and under the hood of this one, it's a, like I said, the 261, which you can see here, and all of its splendor. Now, and he's thought about putting like a dual carb setup on this or going to a V8, and we'll see what it does, because either way, it'd be really, really cool. And a V8 would be dual carb as well, because that's what he does. He just loves dual carbs, which I don't blame him. They're very cool that way. You know, and this one, you can tell, like, there's been a lot of love put in this one. And, like, these motors were very robust, and actually, you usually didn't see these in the cars, except for the Pontiacs. You saw these in the cars. These were typically in the trucks. They were more of a heavy-duty engine in that regard.
Yeah, you couldn't get that in the Chevys, in the cars.
Okay. Inside, you'll see a really cool... Oh, it is locked? Okay, no worries. But yeah, you can kind of see, you know, the two-tone red on black. Just, yeah, he's got the keys inside, so it's totally fine. And these are a very neat car. Now, if you want to see like a full in-depth of this one, you can go check out my video that I did, which I'll try to link it in the description below if I remember. So, yeah, anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, you know, please like the video if you did. Comment down below anything else you want to see. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as well, go check out Roy Marco's garage as well. He's been the one that's been, you know, kind of touring the cars with me and telling me what's what. So, yeah. Anyways, hope you're staying safe during COVID-19. Good luck with what we're working on. And I'll catch you in the next video. Bye! Pikachu!